the ladies' request. Okay, so we're still continuing shoulders, hip flexors, and core. Cushions are useful, strap, and maybe 2 blocks. We're going to do some back bends as well to stretch out the core. So a lot of people think core is about crunching down or twisting in, but it's also about being able to stretch it out and to create length in it. And without much further, I don't think you need anything else from me. We're going to start in cat-cows. If you do get sore knees, please put a cushion underneath your knees. There's nothing wrong with that. Anatomically, it's not going to make any difference. So don't suffer because I haven't put a cushion underneath my knees. I've got 2 mats underneath me, just so that you know. Okay, so from here, we're going to exhale, round out the whole of your spine, tuck your tailbone under and draw your shoulder blades apart. And then gently inhaling, lifting your tailbone up, lifting your head up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, drawing your shoulder blades apart, tucking your tailbone. And then this is where you start to work your core, gently lifting your belly button in towards your spine. And then exhaling, releasing your belly button and letting your body get a lovely stretch all the way from your lower ribs, all the way into your hips. Working with your own breathing here. And then on your next breath, bring your spine back into a neutral position. So you're not bending it and you're not flexing it. Nice and neutral. Press your shoulder blades apart and bring your spine up above your shoulder blades and your head into the back of your skull. Quite often, the head wants to drop forward, so just give a little lift up. That's going to straighten the neck out a little bit. From here, right arm suits all the way up overhead, opening out the right-hand side of your body. Again, this is stretching your core muscles from your hip up to your rib cage. And then exhale, right hand comes underneath you, right shoulder comes down onto the ground. And coming in to thread the needle. If you want to, you can lift your left hand up and place it onto your right hand side of your hip or your spine. Release your bind if you are in one and place your left hand back down onto the floor and then come back up into a tabletop position. From here, tuck your tailbone under and bring your tailbone all the way onto your heels. Hands come forwards and we're in a lovely little child's pose. Stretching out underneath your armpits. Inhaling back into a neutral spine position. Here, left arm sweeps all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, bringing that left hand underneath you. Left shoulder comes down onto the ground. And we're in another thread the needle. If you want to take your hand onto your spine, your hip, or the inside of your left thigh, You can do. We've got 5 breaths here. Releasing your right hand back down onto the mat, pressing through your right hand to lift yourself back into a tabletop position. Then you're walking your hips backwards onto your heels and then stretching your hands further forwards into child's pose. On your next inhale, coming all the way back into a tabletop position, hands underneath your shoulders. Shoulders are nice and broad of your spine, and bring your head into the back of your skull. From here, send your right leg all the way back towards the back of your mat and lift it off the ground. Bend your right knee and point your toes up towards the ceiling and really squeeze your bum as you lift up with your right leg. From here, you're going to balance and bring your left hand all the way around to hold your right foot. Really press the ground away. Shoulder is away from your ear. Right shoulder is away from your ear. From here, release your right foot. Bring that right knee all the way in towards you, and your left hand goes around your right knee and cuddles the right knee in towards your chest. Foot is off the ground. And then place your right knee all the way back down towards the ground again. Transfer your weight. So come back into neutral spine position. Head is coming into the back of your skull. From here, you're going to take your left foot all the way towards the back of the mat and then lift your foot up off the mat. Bend your left knee, point it up towards the ceiling, and then squeeze your left glute as much as you can. Slowly transfer the weight onto your left hand. Right hand reaches all the way up and around onto your left foot. Squeezing, left shoulder is pressing away from you, down onto the ground. Should get a lovely stretch all the way through the front of your abdomen. Release that left foot, right hand comes underneath you, left knee comes into your chest. You're holding onto the knee and you're squeezing it in towards your chest. And then place your left knee back down onto the ground. Right hand comes down onto the ground. Right foot steps forwards. You're going to inhale, sweep your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. If you get a sore knee, please put a cushion underneath. Really lifting towards the ceiling. Shoulders come into your ears. Ribcage comes up. You really are stretching the front of your body. We are going to lift your back foot up. So this is where a cushion is very useful. I've just seen that no one's put a cushion underneath the knee. So if you want a cushion, we are going to go into this one where the back knee is up. So from here, you're going to take your right hand, twist over to your right hand side, hold on to your left foot, rotating your body around. Should get a delicious stretch all the way through your left hip. I've got a fabulous cramp in my left hamstring. If you are somebody who ends up with cramp, then this might be the one. And then from here, lowering your left leg all the way down, popping that back foot down, and then you're going to lift up into warrior one. Draw your left heel down towards the ground. And then bend backwards slightly. Feel the strength in your spine. If you feel pinching, your spine doesn't have the strength, so don't do it. Be very careful, just slight back bend here. And then exhale, hands come down onto your mat. Step back with your right foot. Step forwards with your left foot. So we're going to go through the same sequence on the other side. From here, you're inhaling, lifting your arms up overhead, shoulders come into your ears. Get that stretch on the front of your right hip. If you're happy to do so, you're going to lift your back foot, rotate, bring your left hand onto the right foot, right hand comes onto the left knee. That lovely little rotation. From here, release your right foot, bring it all the way down towards the ground. Oh, nearly fell over. Inhaling, coming all the way up into a warrior one. Or adjusted, and we're drawing your right heel down. I want to get a stretch onto the calf muscle of the right. Hands come into a prayer pose, stepping all the way forwards towards the front of your mat. So you're going to inhale, sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hinging all the way down towards the ground. First forward fold of the day. And you might find that your legs feel a little bit tight. Tucking your chin in. A nice little moment here where we're stretching out the back of the legs. So you're going to inhale, straight back, hips coming backwards. From here, you're coming down, hands go flat onto your mat. Right foot steps backwards, then your left foot steps backwards. Knees come down, tuck your tailbone under, draw your shoulders wide of your spine. Hands are slightly wider than your shoulders here. Get that hand placement really nice. Elbows draw in towards the rib cage. Lower your chest all the way down towards the ground. Untuck your toes. Bring your elbows forwards. First cobra of the day. Opening out the front of your chest. Exhaling, coming all the way down towards your mat. Untuck your toes. Press into your hands. Lift your hips all the way up towards the ceiling. And we are in a downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the day. And if your mat feels anything like mine, it's not hot enough. My hands are slipping slightly, which is very annoying. Don't have any suggestions for that other than spread your fingers nice and wide and really try and get as much contact with your mat as you can. Stepping forwards with both feet and coming into a seated position on your mat. And from here, you're going to lay down onto your back. Knees are up over your hips. And then you're going to exhale, lift your upper body, bring your upper body towards your knees. Inhale, come all the way back down again. You may move millimeters. Exhale, bring your upper body towards your knees. Inhale, come all the way back down. Your arms at either side of your thighs as you come up into that small little crunch. And then exhaling all the way back to the floor. Working with your own breathing pattern here, we're just trying to slowly warm up your abdomen. One more breath. And from here, bring your feet so that they are flat and facing up towards the ceiling. Knees are bent and your hands are on the outside of your feet. Knees are tucked in towards your armpits. So in happy baby. And from here, you're just going to lift slightly with your heels and draw your knees slightly further in towards your armpits if you can. Should get a lovely stretch all the way down the back of your legs. Place your hands underneath your knees, bring your knees together, rock and roll into a seated position. And we're going to roll over the front of your knees. If that is not comfortable for you, bring your knees around to the side so that we can go into the next little flow. So from here, we are back into a high plank position. Hands are slightly wider than your shoulders, either side of the mat, tucking your tailbone under. From here, your right foot steps forwards towards your right hand. Lifting your hips up slightly. Okay, that's where the core is going to work for you. Right arm sweeps all the way up towards the ceiling. Nice openness here as you open out to the right hand side. I've got beautiful stretch going on in my right butt cheek. That was really good. And then from here, we're going to transfer your weight onto your right foot. First balance of the morning. Left foot comes up off your mat. You're rotating your body to the right hand side, half moon. Slowly bending your left knee, coming all the way up to standing. That left knee comes in towards your chest, nice bend in the knee, and you're going to give it a little bit of a hug. Really try and draw it all the way in towards your rib cage here. And then exhaling, bringing that left foot all the way down towards the ground. From here, you're going to inhale, lift your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, coming all the way down towards your mat. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, hands are wide of your shoulders as you place them onto your mat, stepping back with your left foot, stepping back with your right foot. If you want to do a full chaturanga, go for it. Elbows draw in towards your rib cage. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips come up into the air. We've got 5 breaths in downward facing dog. Remember, child's pose is always an option, or tabletop. All of them are options. From here, coming all the way forwards into a high plank position. Drawing your head into the back of your skull, nice straight spine. Left foot steps forwards this time. From here, you're going to inhale, keep lifting your hips slightly. And left arm comes up towards the ceiling. Right hand is down onto the ground. I'm really pulling my right shoulder away from my right ear. Slowly transfer your weight onto your left foot, lifting your right foot up, coming into half moon. Revolved half moon, I should say. From here, bring your hands into prayer pose, sweep your right knee all the way underneath you, come up to standing, and hug your right foot in towards your rib cage. Right foot comes down onto the ground. Inhaling, sweeping your arms up and sitting into a chair pose. Exhaling, hands come down onto your mat, sucking your chin in. Nice long legs. Use your abdomen and use your thighs to get your ribs closer to each other. Inhale, tall spine. exhale, hands come flat onto your mat, stepping or jumping back into a chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, left heel turns in, sweeping your arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down onto your mat. Step back with your right foot, elbows draw in towards your ribs cage in chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Stepping forwards with your left foot, right heel drops in. Sweeping your arms up overhead. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, coming back down onto your mat. Sit back with your left foot, drawing your elbows in towards your rib cage. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. From here, stepping forwards with both feet, coming into a seated position. And then we're going to lie back down onto your mat. So we're going to go into some chest opening and some back bends now. The last sequence was more about shoulders and a little bit of core. And now I want to think about working the back of the shoulder and working at stretching your core. Drawing your heels in towards your hips. Hands at either side of your body. And then you're going to gently tuck your tailbone under and roll your hips so that they point up towards the ceiling. And you're rolling through every single vertebrae. And you should feel that your abdomen is working and kicking in. And you're going to lift to the point where you're like, right, okay, I can feel my body is working, but you're not getting a pinch in the back of your spine. No pinching. If you want to, you can lock your hands around your heels if it's available to you. You can come onto your big toes, lifting your heels up and holding onto your feet with your hands. And this is going to open out your chest more. Again, please only do what your back allows you to do. From here, you can lift one leg up, point it all the way up towards the ceiling. Bring that leg all the way back down towards the ground and lift the other leg up and point it towards the ceiling. And then bring that leg all the way down onto the ground. From here, you're going to slowly, very slowly, tuck your tailbone under and then bring yourself back to rest onto your mat. Draw your knees in towards you, straighten your legs out, toes up towards the ceiling, and hands are supporting the back of your thighs. And just gently, slowly, very gently pulling your legs towards you. Getting a nice release on the back of your legs. Gently releasing hands, bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the ground. You're going to roll up through your spine and come back into a seated position. Make sure you've got a little room at the front of the mat. We are going to bring your knees behind you. If you find sitting on your heels very uncomfortable, place a pillow underneath your ankles. And you can sit back onto the pillow. You can also put a second pillow in between your heels and your thighs. If you are happy without either of these, then you can just sit all the way backwards onto your heels. Some people will find this incredibly comfortable, some people will not. So work with what your body shape feels like. From here, you're going to come forwards, tuck your toes under, and sit onto your big toes. Be very careful with your big toes. You don't want to force them into a position that they're not ready for. You're just getting a little stretch onto your toes. If you want to, you can come and sit back with all of your weight onto your heels if that is available to you. Now for the next one, some people might find that they need a couple of blocks underneath your hands. We are coming into camel. You're going to lift your hips all the way forwards. You're on your big toes and you're coming backwards to reach onto your heels and then drift your hips forward. So it is a lift and a squeeze of your glutes, of your bum, to lift your hips forwards and then open out your chest. Gently bring your hips all the way back down onto your heels. Hands come all the way forwards. You're going to round out through your spine, coming into child's pose, tucking your chin in slightly. From here, coming all the way back up onto your big toes, walking your hips backwards onto your heels. One hand is going to come onto your heel, so including my right hand on my right heel. You're going to lift your hips forwards. This brings you into a nice rotation, and then you can let your left arm sweep all the way up overhead. And you're looking down your arm towards your foot on the right hand side. Sweeping your right arm down, hips come back down onto your heels. Left hand comes down onto your left heel. Lift your hips forwards, right arm sweeps all the way up overhead. Bring a nice stretch onto your abdomen here. Hips come back down onto your heels. Take your hands in front of you, untuck your toes, release your feet back into child's pose. So we are going to go into a full flattened position. If you find this very difficult because there's tightness in the front of your legs, then coming into two of the modifications in camel is an excellent way of modifying this position. From here, I'm going to come all the way backwards with my hands behind me. Now, for some people, this may be enough. You may find that your knees are all the way up in the air. You're not going to be able to go any lower. If you want to come lower, you're going to come onto your forearms, lifting your hips upwards, squeezing your bum. Okay, and I'm getting a lovely stretch already over the front of my hips. If you want to come all the way down, you can come down. Now my head is on the mat, but I'm lifting through my hips to protect my spine, and I'm pressing my forearms down into the mat and keeping that lift up of my hips. My core is working, my spine is working, my bum is certainly working. Here, tucking your chin in and gently pressing your hands into the mat, coming all the way forwards, rounding out gently through your spine and coming into child's pose. Pressing your hands into the mat, slowly and gently walking your right foot into a high plank position on your right hand side. Holding here. Shoulders are nice and broad of your spine. Head is drawing into the back of your scalp. And then we're going to switch over. Right knee comes forwards, left foot comes backwards. Draw your hips slightly upwards, feeling a little bit of tension into your bodies. Right foot steps backwards and you're going to push back into a downward facing dog. You may find you've drifted forward somewhat, so just come back slightly. From here, you're going to look towards the front of the mat, bend your knees, stepping up, jumping your feet towards your hands. Inhaling, halfway lift, nice full spine. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, sweeping your arms all the way up overhead, draw your shoulders into your ears. Exhale, hands come all the way down towards your hips. For the next sequence, we're going to go through some standing hip flexor work, which is based on a stretch and release. If you have tightness across the front of your thighs, you are probably going to need a strap. So I won't use a strap, but you may want a strap for this. You're going to inhale, lift your foot up. This is where you loop the strap. Okay, you're going to put the strap around your foot. Okay, and you're going to lift that thigh all the way in towards you. If you don't have a strap, you're going to put your index finger and middle finger on your big toes. And then from here, exhale, straighten your leg all the way out in front of you. Try and keep your spine nice and tall. You look wonderful, everyone. I'm looking down here. Gosh, I'm seeing huge improvements in everyone's hip flexors. It's working. I know everyone hates hip flexors. If you don't have a strap, okay, you're going to release your hand. If you do have a strap, you're just going to hold it. Okay, and we're going to hold that leg up, hold that thigh up, and then slowly, so slowly, if you've got a strap, you can lower your leg very, very slowly all the way back, that grows muscle. From here, you're going to take your foot all the way behind you, squeeze your hamstring to bring your foot in towards you, and then hold on to your foot with both hands. And we're going to draw your foot all the way in towards your hip. Try and keep the front of the hip drawing upwards. Yeah, cramp. Yeah, sorry, this is a bit of a crampy one. Okay, you might find that you get quite strong contractions. The best advice I can say about cramp is hydration, potassium salt. Those are the other ones that have an impact, but also just gently contract the muscle rather than really quickly and fiercely. Okay, so from here, you're going to release your foot. Come all the way forwards. If you've got a strap, you're going to send that leg all the way away in front of you. If you don't have a strap, then you can either hold on first, or you can do what I'm doing, which is lift your leg as high as you possibly can. Straightening your foot. My toes are pointed away from me. And then from here, slowly, ever so slowly, bring your leg all the way down. Bend your right knee. Draw your right foot into the back of your hip. Open out the front of your body a little bit more. Really, I'm thinking about this right side of my body, the right hip, my right quad, which feels tight. And then relaxing your right foot all the way back down towards the ground. We're going to move onto the left leg. From here, you're going to draw your left leg all the way in towards you. If you have a strap, you're popping the strap on. If you don't have a strap, then you can hold on with your index finger and middle finger, and then send your left leg away from you. Try to lift upwards. And then you're going to let go. If you've got a strap, you're going to hold with the strap. You're still trying to keep that leg all the way up. And then slowly, very slowly coming all the way down towards the ground. Lift your left foot towards your left bum cheek, holding inwards, drawing your heel close to your body as you can. Releasing your left foot. Inhaling, drawing your left knee all the way in towards you again. Taking hold if you want to. And then we're going to just let that leg hang out in front. And then slowly let that left leg come all the way down towards the ground. Lift your left foot up into your left hip. And then relaxing your left leg all the way out. From here, we've got a vinyasa. Inhaling, sweeping your arms all the way up overhead. Shoulders come all the way up into your ears. Again, thinking about your ribcage rising. And then exhale, coming all the way down towards the mat. Really center and ground yourself in this position here. Tucking your chin in slightly. Inhale, straight back to spine. Exhale, hands come down onto your mat, stepping back or jumping back into a chaturanga. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Opening out the front of the ribs. Really breathing into space that you're creating. Exhale from here. Hips come up into a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, looking towards the front of the mat, bending your knees, jumping forwards, and then coming into a seated position. Make sure you've got a little bit of space at the front of the mat so you can stretch your legs out in front of you. We're going to cross your right leg over the top of your left leg. And then from here, you're going to draw your thigh in towards your chest. And then take your right hand all the way behind you. And you can either have it on the floor or up in the air. A nice little twist into your body. From here, coming all the way back round to face the front. Place your right foot on the right-hand side of your left leg. Okay, so bring them back in. And you've got about a hand's distance between your right foot and your left leg. Left hand comes behind your left hip. You're going to inhale, sweep your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come as far forward as you can towards your left foot. Thumb comes down towards the ground. You're going to wrap your right arm around the back of your body and then bring your left hand to try and meet it. You may not find you can do this. This may not be available to you. So you can hold on to either your t-shirt or onto your thigh. You inhale and then you can exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Inhaling, releasing your hands, go all the way back to seated. Right leg goes out, left leg comes in. You're wrapping the left leg over the top of your right leg. Right arm sweeps around the front of your right thigh, of your left thigh, sorry. And then you can either place your hand on the ground or up into the air. Here, coming all the way back to face forwards. Bring your left leg onto the left-hand side of your body. You've got hands width roughly between your left leg and your right leg. And your left leg is bent. Right hand comes behind the right-hand side of your body onto the mat. You're going to inhale, sweep your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And then come as far forward as you possibly can. Bring the thumb to face down. Then wrap your left arm around the back of your body, joining up with your right hand. I can see a few people are feeling this is a little bit tight. Okay. Inhaling, coming all the way back up to seated. Legs go all the way out in front of you. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, lifting your arms into the air, shoulders up into your ears. Really lift your rib cage upwards and then exhale, hinge at your hips and come as far forward as you can. If you find that there is tightness in your shoulders and your arms are bent a little bit, try coming out into a Y shape with your arms. Okay, that will still stretch and it will probably be a little bit more efficient than trying to get your arms completely straight where they're not very happy. You're going to inhale, lift up towards your hands, exhale, draw forwards a little bit more with your core. Inhale, lift up towards your hands, exhale, draw forwards with your core a little bit more. We've got one more. Inhale, lift up towards your hands, exhale, draw forwards slightly more. And then from here, completely relax your body all the way back out again. Draw your feet up in towards your chest. Your feet can either be flat on the floor or you can have your feet off the floor, hands at either side of your knees. Coming into a modified boat. But you know where this is going because we're doing hip flexors core. So you're going to lift your legs so that they are parallel with the floor. And then from here, if you want to, you can point your toes up towards the ceiling. You can have a quick look. Oh, you guys look excellent. Very nice. And then exhale, come all the way down into a banana shape. If this is really difficult, you can bend your knees. And then exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Toes are pointing down towards the ground. Then we lift them so that your feet are parallel with the floor. Then we lift them to straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. And then we exhale, draw your legs down, but they're still off the floor. Remember, you can bend your knees if it's too much for your back. We've got one more of these. You're going to inhale, Draw your knees in towards your chest. This is a rest position. I know it doesn't feel like a rest, but it is the rest position. From here, feet come parallel with the ground. My legs are shaking. Drawing your legs all the way up towards the ceiling. Really squeeze. This is the last one, I promise you. And then exhale, coming all the way down towards the ground. Feet are off the ground, chest is off the ground, back is flat on the mat. And then exhale. Relax all the tension out of your body. It should feel like a really big relief. Let your hands fall out to either side and take 5 breaths. Slowly bring your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees and just gently rock from side to side. Maybe rolling through your knees as you rock. Place your hands underneath your knees. We're going to rock and roll into a seated position. We are about to go into Shavasana, so it is still very cold in the mornings. I would definitely recommend grabbing either a blanket or a jumper or a sweater, maybe popping some socks on. Now we've got 5 minutes in Shavasana, so enjoying some time. I was talking to a client, it took me 4 weeks of my yoga course to really be able to drift in Shavasana. And even now, I struggle every now and then. So if you are struggling with relaxing your body, bring your mind onto a nice memory, a nice focal point, or something you're looking forward to. And every time you find yourself drifting away from that focal point, just remind your brain to come back to the focal point. Letting your head be nice and heavy. Letting your spine drop down, your hips roll out, your thighs roll out, your hands and your forearms roll out. Gently letting your body drift. Slowly becoming aware of your surroundings. Taking a deep inhale and then breathing out. Starting to move your fingers and your toes. Rolling your head to your right side, back to the center, and then to the left side, and back to center again. Drawing your knees into your chest and wrapping your hands around your knees. Gently rocking from right to left. And then when you're ready, rolling onto one side and coming back into a seated position. Hands come onto your knees and are facing up towards the ceiling. Drawing your chin in towards your chest, bowing your head down, saying namaste. Thank you very much for joining me for yoga today. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got another 3 weeks of core and shoulders, and then I'm thinking a little bit of chest opening in the next one. So have a fantastic day, everyone, and I will see you next week. Take care.